Did you see that?
It's been circling it in circles for so long.
And what happened next will stun you. A man in a black hood mysteriously dropped on the bench. It looked like he had dropped from the sky. What's even stranger, a couple was getting off the bike when suddenly something pulled the woman down. She tried to resist it, but an invisible force kept pulling her with unnatural strength, and she had an unsettling smile on her face. Just seconds later, she snapped out of it, like she had just broken out of a trance when a woman approached him. But this was no ordinary customer. Her eyes were pale, completely white, with no pupils at all, and her mouth was even more disturbing. A huge grim-like mark was on her face that stretched unnaturally to one side. Not once, but twice. The motion is unnatural and completely impossible for a human. Watch this moment again and see if you can make some sense out of it. When the boy in this video was relaxing in his room, he had no idea what was about to happen. Out of nowhere, an invisible force grabbed his leg and yanked him back with great force. This woman had just moved into an apartment that she got at a cheap price, and after staying here for just a week, she found out why. Some strange things used to happen which caught her off guard, and hung them on the wall. But hanging their most recent souvenir was a mistake. There was a clown-like doll on the wall behind the woman, and suddenly it began to move on its own.
You kill your mother, you kill...
At first, it seemed like it had just slipped off the swing.
Look. There's somebody in the trampoline, but there's not somebody in the trampoline.
But what she captured next was beyond anything she expected. It looked like an invisible entity was jumping on the trampoline because its surface dipped mysteriously, like a ghost was playing on it. This kept on going for more than 3 hours.
Bro, for so long now, like 10, I just started looking 10 minutes ago, but it's probably been doing this all day. Like, what is going on?
Because it comes alive at night. Each evening, the fitness equipment begins moving on its own, and it looks like invisible bodies are using that equipment. Have even heard strange voices. But what's even more unsettling is the nearby park, where an eerie, childlike figure has been spotted playing on the swings in a creepy way. She lay quietly in her hospital bed, and it was just the two of them in the room. But then her grandmother said something spine-chilling.
What is amazing, Mom?
Can you see this little pink girl here?
The pink girl?
You can't.
No, I can't see the pink girl.
She kept seeing a little girl standing in front of her. Although the room was silent, it was captured after business hours, when no one was supposed to be inside. A dog was calmly walking through the store, when suddenly it jumped into the air. It looked like someone had pushed it, but the dog was reacting to something invisible, because there was no one else in that store.
It said Cody?
My name is Cody.
My name's Sean. What's your name? Can you say one of our names? It said Cody? And we'll actually hear that when we listen back. I want to ask, are you trying to affect Cody? Are you trying to affect Cody? Make him feel... No? So,
who is this?
April, are you the woman that we picked up on when we were heading over here? Please don't feel don't be afraid.
You just said don't be afraid.
Don't be there's no reason to be fearful.
You said 3 men?
That's accurate. Let's talk about you. Who are you and what are you trying to do here?
Are you trying to cause pain to this family?
Is this your home?
Oh, it said home.
When his night took a terrifying turn, out of nowhere, a tall, shadowy figure suddenly appeared in front of him. It was much taller than the man, and within seconds, it began to drag him backward. He struggled but couldn't break free. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the dark figure vanished, and only then the man was able to free himself from its grasp. He was so shaken and terrified that he immediately got up and ran in the opposite direction. It was supposed to be an ordinary music performance, but something else lurked in the background. As the cameraman was recording the band, he captured another face in the video, a face that didn't belong to any of the band members. Her face was stretched in a creepy smile. It was only her hand that seemed to move the camera back and forth repeatedly. The gesture was robotic and unnatural, and even when the bus began to move again, her eerie behavior did not stop. At first, it looked like a smoky figure was moving down the road, but then the mist began to take shape. It took the form of a person riding a bicycle. Just moments later, the figure faded back into smoke and continued moving. This couldn't have been a camera glitch because everything else in the frame captured a trainer acting strangely. He seemed to be talking to someone in front of him, but there was no one else there. When the watchman asked him who he was talking to, the trainer said that a visitor had walked in just before closing the gym. But then, the watchman showed him this footage. But one night, she heard the sound of multiple dogs in her living room, so she checked her security camera, and what she saw shocked her. There were 2 dogs running across the floor, their bodies slightly translucent, and the new dog silently stared at them from the couch. After seeing the footage, Julieta believed it was the spirits of Ori and Lucky, almost like he was trying to lure out whatever it was. Suddenly, the photo was yanked behind the mirror, like there was someone behind it that snatched it away. But the mirror was on a solid piece of wall with no opening whatsoever, so no one person or animal could possibly fit behind it. He saw someone walking past his house. He grew suspicious of this hooded figure, and it only got worse when the owner zoomed in. It wasn't a man at all. It was a mysterious creature with gray skin. Captured a chilling moment late at night. The woman, Heather Paul, was standing outside with her husband and kids when she noticed a white figure walking behind her. It looked like a woman in a long white dress. Heather ignored the figure at first, as everything else kept falling apart, mysteriously. It was clear that their house was already occupied, and whatever entity lived in it was not happy about the new homeowners. Someone else was walking in the room, so she started recording this video. That's when something terrifying happened. Right behind the boy, invisible person had taken a seat and was moving it. The boy immediately ran away from the chair, but even when the babysitter decided to call his mother home, the chair did not stop moving. The woman inside was behaving in an unsettling way, so he decided to record her. She was hunched forward and moving around in a strange manner, like she was dancing awkwardly. Her mouth was moving as if she was speaking to someone, but she was the only person there. They placed 2 pencils aligned in the shape of a cross on a piece of paper, hoping to contact a supernatural entity, and then a presence finally responded. The pencils moved on its own, shifting without anyone touching it. It was as if something unseen had made contact.
Guys, I had to turn the SLS off because the battery is dying, but there is something dancing on Sean's arm. Dude, it's absolutely going haywire, Sean.
Wow, there's in this mirror, and I don't think it's me, but I'm seeing another shape.
Dude, both figures are dancing on top of your hand. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
I feel like frozen, bro. Like I feel like I'm cold.
What? It just disappeared. Holy shit, bro. What the fuck was that? I've never seen that with the SLS before, ever.
Like I got a burning on my elbow.
Wait till I show you this video, bro. You're gonna trip out. Because I tripped out.
A mysterious entity walked outside a 7-Eleven store in Malaysia. It looked like a woman with a white cloth draped over the shoulders, but it wasn't really a woman. It had a gray, ashy face that couldn't belong to a human, and there didn't seem to be any features on it. Just two pits of darkness where eyes were supposed to be. The ghost-like entity kept staring inside the store. But that's not the only creepy thing that happened. If you look very closely, you'll see a shadow move on the wall right next to the door. Although it's very faint, it looks like the shadow of a person. Also explained that this door was too old and heavy to move on its own, and there was nothing in the room that could have cast such a shadow, which makes this video even creepier.